2, 3, 4.
Good morning! 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 Good morning, bitches! Good morning!
Good morning, bitches.
Woo! Wow, now that we've switched to the Tuesday-Thursday schedule, it feels like ages since we've done a show.
Yeah. No, well, sometimes you gotta let people miss you.
It's true. It's true. Sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Steven? Could you not? That's... He's being a little bit disgusting.
Our senior cat is a sex pervert.
Oh, he is a dirty old man now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, we're here. It is Tuesday. Somehow it's July, but
It's almost the end of July, honestly.
Cranking through.
Yeah.
We're cranking through here. Welcome to the next in our series of albums we love.
Mm-hmm.
Today we are going to be discussing the 1998 debut solo album by Lauryn Hill, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Mm-hmm.
This album, it was huge.
Yes. Well, Do Up That Thing was a gigantic
It was a massive hit.
And also Everything Is Everything. Which one had the turntables on top of the buildings?
I don't know, because the video for that thing was also huge, because it was like the split screen.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think I'm thinking of the Everything Is Everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's good. The video was huge. I think everybody already knew that, the Fugees were a pretty big deal. Like, if you were cool, you knew when you were into it, and everybody was like, oh, shit.
Well, the Fugees were, top 10 pop stars in the UK.
Sure. I don't know. I was, pretty young, so I kind of missed it. But I know that, they were a thing. They were pretty revolutionary in the game at the time. And people knew who Lauryn Hill was, so when the solo album came out, it blew everybody away, not only because it was great, but I think because it was in a similar vein to what the Fugees was, but it was very much her album.
I think that the big difference as well is the Fugees, certainly the singles, was a lot of big samples. In the case of Kidding Me Softly, straight up cover.
Right.
And to my knowledge, Miseducation doesn't really have any samples on it. It's I may be wrong on that, but I think the aspiration was to write something that was wholly original, not reliant on samples in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal's just
I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page to see if there were neo soul and R&B album. I guess neo soul that is what it is.
Because
stumbled into the lyrics section.
Oh yeah, there's a lot around this because she also fell out with some of the people that worked on it and stuff.
Right, that's what this. I was just reading the lawsuit section.
I think there were a lot of people that worked on this record, and she very much presented it as if it was more or less all her.
Yeah.
I think was what the lawsuit was really about. But I would say it's a pretty perfect album. But I will stop short of saying actually perfect album because those fucking sound clips of the kids.
Oh.
I hate it.
I don't hate them.
You can't skip it.
They
make them individual tracks so that I can choose not to listen to.
But they're thematically connected to the songs. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't hate it. It's a weird choice and it is a little bit annoying, but I don't think it ruins the album. I think it's a very intentional choice. I
just remember because they're all at the end of the songs, right?
Yeah, except for the opener because there's
the opener goes straight in.
Yeah,
but it would always just be right next to my CD player, ready to skip to the next track.
I don't know. I think it's. I don't know the backstory of that whole Because I remember when the album.
I think it's actors. I don't think it's actually a class.
Well, wasn't it? Because the album did recently had an anniversary recently. Because if it came out in '98, it must have had its like.
Well, because that's when we saw her at Jones Beach.
Right. But I remember all these articles.
We saw Lauryn do this album at Jones Beach.
I remember all these articles coming out being like, where are the kids from the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill now? And like, you're like, really?
I missed that.
But I mean, I don't know. I think it's kind of cute. And especially after we recently rewatched Sister Act 2.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, maybe this is also a little bit of a callback to her Sister Act 2 appearance. Maybe not. But I feel like if you knew her and you knew her like history, which at the time I didn't put that stuff together. This album came out in 1998. I was in the 8th grade. So I would have been 12, 13. Yeah, maybe closer to 13, 14. I was still very much listening to like, you know, punk, Green Day, Weezer, alternative rock. I was, you know, dipping my toes in the waters of Riot Girl and like more feminist punk rock. And I don't really know how this album came into my life. I'm sure it's something that my mom got. And my mom does love this album. But I remember listening to it and it really feeling so like, it reminded me very much in a way of the like hip hop girl groups and R&B groups that I listened to when I was like really young, when I was in like 3rd and 4th grade, like SWV and Vogue and stuff. Like it had that vibe, but it was so, there was like a seriousness to it and there was an artistry to it that I hadn't.
I mean, I think the aspiration was to write like her songs in the key of life. Like,
yeah, and that's really how it came across, and it was something that I had not been exposed to in the genre. I wasn't listening to a lot of like hip hop when I was in the 8th grade because it just wasn't the world that I lived in, and it really opened up a lot of doors to me musically. And I thought her songwriting and her lyrics were so good and like so smart and like cutting in this way that like as a very sarcastic, you know, 8th grader, like it resonated with me in this weird way, in a way that a lot of the other music that I was listening to didn't. And then when I went and revisited the album many, many, many years later, a lot of the songs had a like much deeper kind of like subtext, or I had experiences that made the songs feel more real in a way, like the song we're going to cover today, like is, oh God, it's heartbreaking. It is absolutely heartbreaking. And
I will say that the lyrics of Do What That Thing are judgmental on the level that it's just completely uncalled for. Yeah. It's a fucking banger of a tune, but just rein it in, Lauryn.
She won't though.
Jesus Christ.
She will not. That has always been Lauryn's thing.
Yeah.
She doesn't rude. She doesn't show up on time.
Nobody is moralistically good enough for Lauryn Hill on that song.
No, I mean, and I think that's kind of that's been proven.
I would say this was also an outlier in my record collection.
Yeah.
So this was 98. I made this playlist.
Steven.
I won't tell you what I catch there, but it's because I folded that blanket. I made a Spotify playlist like a couple of years ago of like stuff that I love that came out in 98, because I turned 16 in 98. And it was like I was just musically all over the place. I didn't like have a genre that I was like in on. But things that came out that year included Celebrity Skin by Hole, which was also a big record for me. Madonna's Ray of Light was that year. I don't remember what else was on that. I think PJ Harvey's Is This Desire, which I actually didn't get into until later. And then a lot of singles like Natalie Imbruglia's Torn was that year. I'm
just sorry, I was never on board with that song.
The thing, I mean, you've seen me do it at karaoke.
Yes,
I love that song. There was also, much like Kylie Minogue, Natalie Imbruglia was in Neighbours. So it was like,
right.
We already knew who she was. She was the cute little tomboy from Neighbours.
Yeah. I just had a real disdain for like pop music at the time, I think, because I was a fucking punk, you know?
Apart from Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It was it kind of cut through a lot of the other like big pop hits of the time, and like
I don't know that I had other like R&B in my heavy rotation at the time. I think this was very much an outlier in that respect. I think actually, honestly, at this time, I was listening to a lot of Jimi Hendrix.
Oh,
I think I was in that phase.
Yeah,
you know?
I didn't hit that until college, which is I think where most people probably stumble upon that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, the Lauryn Hill, it was so good, that album, and it did like make me want to explore and investigate other like hip hop and R&B that felt more serious, that didn't feel like, I don't know, frivolous in a way that a lot of and like, oh my God, Steven, shut up. Because I remember a few years after that, when I started my first stint working at Newbury Comics, because I was only like 16 when I started working there, MTV put out a compilation record called The First 1,000 Years of Hip Hop, and I listened to that album so much, constantly. But like, I feel like I might have listened to it anyway, but if I hadn't heard the Lauryn Hill album, it would have been like, that would have been my first entryway. That would have been my first like access point with this like weird MTV compilation of like the 10 greatest hip hop songs of all time or something, which is a really weird way to like stumble into something. But yeah, I mean, and the fact that Lauryn Hill was a woman was pretty incredible. And to hear her singing and rapping like with such skill and like precision, and
I think it's Ready or Not, one of the Fugees singles. I'm pretty sure it's Ready or Not. Excuse you. Was responsible for me finding out what the word defecating means. She says like, I'll be Nina Simone defecating on the microphone. Yeah. And I remember just being like, Mom, what does defecating mean? And my mom was very good for just like answering questions. Yeah. Like, there was no bullshit. She was like, pooing.
That means poop. Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's true. I mean, I remember getting like backtracking years later to the Fugees and like, oh shit, that's okay, all right. This is great.
I don't like the Fugees as much, but they did lead me to like discover like the things that they were like. I remember when obviously their cover of Killing Me Softly was like what broke them, or certainly in the UK. Mm-hmm. Like they had an album before that didn't really do anything, and that cover was huge. But I remember my mom just being like, "You need to listen to the Roberta Flack version. Like, it's basically the same, but without someone saying 1 time, 2 time on it." And that weird like sitar noise. Like they haven't done that much to it. And she was right. I did listen to it, and I did like the original now. But and like I forget who the Ready or Not sample is. It's not the Temptations, but it's like somebody like that. And the original of that song is amazing, and like it's got this really weird like timing on it that they took out because it would be very hard to do what they did.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Fugees gave me like a platform into like finding older things.
Yeah.
But like the Lauryn Hill record, I mean, kind of like all of it. It's interesting that there are a couple of very famous people on it as features, and I feel like those songs were not a thing that people talked about much. Like, so there's a duet with D'Angelo on it. I didn't have a fucking clue who D'Angelo was anyway. And then Mary J. Blige is on it as well.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think they were singles.
No, I mean, I think like you said, it was very much her enterprise, even though there were like other people involved. It seemed like it was important that the record be like Lauryn Hill's defining statement about Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, I mean, I think if the record company had been worried, they would have put one of those out.
Yeah.
Because they have like the established person on them.
Yeah.
They clearly were not worried.
No. But yeah, I mean, it was a big album. It's something that I think we both revisit a lot. And yeah, seeing her play all these songs in Jones Beach two summers ago?
2 summers ago. It was incredible. We were ready for it to be not incredible and for it to start really late and whatever. I mean, it started
It did start late, but also Busta Rhymes was there.
Also, we surprised Busta Rhymes.
Here's Busta Rhymes. Cool.
But it was amazing.
Yeah,
she played almost
amazing.
the whole record.
Yeah.
We're pretty sure the only one she didn't do was Zion. And now purely speculating about whether Zion asked her not to, because for those that don't know, the song Zion is about her firstborn son. I think Zion is a boy. Did he ask her not to play that?
Who knows?
Are they not getting on right now?
You know, we may never know. It's not for us to know.
But it was amazing, and
something I thought I would never see. Really, after like, you know, sometimes you have those records and you listen to them and you're like, well, you know, this is how I have this. Never gonna get to see it live or see it performed, but I'm just gonna appreciate this for what it is. And then suddenly you get a chance to see it.
I mean, honestly, I suspect that it wasn't that good back in the day. Like the size of band that she had.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Like I think it probably would have been like. If she was touring back in the day, I think it would have been a much smaller band.
Perhaps,
maybe.
But you know what? We got to see it, and it was pretty wonderful. So let's get on with the
songs. We're gonna do a song from the record now.
Let me adjust to my drumming position.
I was gonna say what we're doing on Thursday, but I can't remember.
I can't either. Is it soundtracks?
Might be soundtracks. Anyway, join us on Thursday. We'll be talking about 2 records
that we love for separate reasons.
Yeah. Okay, you ready?
I think so.
Also, I'm sorry about my hair. I swam in a river yesterday and I didn't wash it.
Yeah, I didn't even look in a mirror before I got on TV today.
TV.
This is TV. 1, 2, 3, 4.
This could all be so simple, but you'd rather make it hard. Loving you is like a battle, and we both end up with scars. So tell me who I have to be to gain some reciprocity. No one loves you more than me. No one ever will. This is just a silly game. Forces you to act this way. Forces you to scream my name. Then pretend that you can stay. So tell me who I have to be to gain some reciprocity. No one loves you more than me. No one ever will. No matter how I think we grow, you always seem to let me know it ain't working. It ain't working. And if I try to walk away, you'll hurt yourself to make me stay. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. I keep letting you back in. How can I explain myself? As painful as this thing has been,
could be with no one else. See, I know what we've got to do. You let go, and I'll let go too. See, no one's hurt me more than you, and no one ever will. No matter how I think we grow, you always seem to let me know it ain't working, it ain't working, it ain't working, it ain't working. And if I try to walk away, you'll hurt yourself to make me stay. This is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy. Care for me, I know you care for me, there for me, there for me. So give me there for me, cry for me. You said you died for me, give to me, give to me. I want you to live for me, care for me, care for me. You said you care for me, there for me, there for me. Said you'd be there for me, cry for me. You said you died for me, give to me, give to me. I want you to live for me. Where were you when I needed you? Nice. All right. There you have it. All right, everybody, join us again on Thursday where we will be discussing some other records.
Everyone, have a good week.